Okay, using multi-tracking inside of Audacity is actually pretty easy to do. And what I want to do here is use it to add a little background music with this narrator that I've got going on here, this radio announcer. So I want a little bit of background music at the beginning and the end of this particular file. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and open my background music. So I'm going to go under File and say Open Recent, because I've opened this file just a little while ago, and select it. Okay, and read directly from the original. Sure, I'll go ahead and do that. All right, so here's my music file right here. And what I want to do is use a little bit of it at the very beginning and the end. So I've listened to this file before, and I know that what I want to use is a little piece of it at the beginning. Now, what you normally want to do is preview through your track and pick out where you want to pull some music from. It may not necessarily be from the beginning of the file. In this case, it is. So I'll go ahead and select it like so. I'm going to go ahead and then under Edit, I'm going to say Copy. All right, so now under Window, I'm going to switch back to my other audio file that I've got open right here. And next thing I want to do is go under Tracks, and I want to say Add New Stereo Track. And this creates a blank track down here. And then what I'll do is I'm going to select my selection tool here. I'm going to click inside of this track here, put my cursor about where I want this music to come in, and then I'm going to say Paste. And there we go. Okay, so there we go. We got some music in here, and we can use our time shift tool here to drag this around. So we'll go ahead and put it in a place like so. All right, so a couple things we want to do here. This music goes on for quite a while, and we don't really need that much. So I think I'm going to edit this down just a little bit. So I'll go ahead and select a chunk of it here and delete it. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to have this music at a low volume, and then I want to have it fade out when the story starts. So I'm using my envelope tool. So I'll go ahead and select that. First thing I'm going to do is grab this, grab this, and pull it down like so, about right there. I'm just guessing here. You're going to want to preview this and mess with it a little bit. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to fade this out. Okay, like so. All right, so I've got my music. It's going to come in, and then it's going to fade. It's going to fade out about right here. All right, so much for that part. Now what I want to do is to do the same thing at the end here. I want to have some music basically come in at the very end and then fade out again. So let's go back to my track here. And again, I'm just working really quickly here. I'm going to pull some audio from the very end of this particular song, and like so. Okay. And this is probably going to be too much, but let's go ahead and do that. And again, we'll go under Edit. We'll say Copy. Go under Window, Radio Announcer, Edit. All right, and let's take our cursor and oops, first thing we got to do is use the selection tool here. Put our cursor about where we want this file to come in, and then we're going to paste. Okay, so let's look at what we got here. Okay, it's a little bit longer than I want. Okay, so we already know what to do about that. So we're going to select part of it and delete it like so. Okay, all right, and again, you want to preview this. I'm just basically using this to demo how this works. So again, you're going to want to preview this audio and find a good place to do an edit. I'm just basically doing this just to show you how the multi-tracking works. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use an envelope again. So I'll go ahead and select this, grab this, and drag it way on down again. Okay, I want this to fade in at the very beginning, at the very beginning of the file. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and let it play out to the very end. Okay. All right. So what we've got now is we've got the audio coming in at the very beginning of it, and then we got it fading in at the very end. But I think I want to have the music start first and then have the narration come in. So what I'm going to do again is select my time shift tool here, and then just drag this over a little bit. So the music's going to come in first, then my narration is going to come in, it's going to fade out, and then at the very end here, the music's going to fade in at the very end, and it's going to play. And again, you'll want to work with these timings. I have a hunch that this is probably a lot longer than it really needs to be, but you'll want to play around with this. Okay, so that's how you do multi-tracking inside of Audacity.